Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Diecast Garage. We're back. Today's video is gonna be talking to you about the differences between a Hot Wheel mainline and a Matchbox mainline. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we're gonna look first at the Hot Wheels mainline here. And by the way, these are the closest that I could possibly get. They're both Lotuses. So I'm going to try and make this as accurate as possible. And I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of owning a Hot Wheel versus a Matchbox. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get to it. So first off, you can see first off, let's look at the wheels. So, as you can see, these are like some super duper futuristic wheels. They're very smooth all around. They got more exotic looking wheels, rims, I'm sorry. And it's got, very high quality detail. And the weight of it is about as much as as an average Hot Wheels mainline is going to be. Not super duper high quality decals, but also not the low premium, low quality style of, yeah. So basically there's not really a huge difference between a Hot Wheels and a Matchbox, because Matchbox has also been around for a lot longer, but they have changed companies. If y'all don't know, Matchbox was started in the 50s, and Hot Wheels didn't start until 68. So, originally, Tyco Toys owned Matchbox, originally. And then later on, when Hot Wheels came around, Hot Wheels were they had the really bright colors. Like this car right here has got really bright colors, and Matchboxes were painted more realistic colors that you would see, so they weren't as hot. And they didn't roll as good. Now obviously this is gonna roll a lot better than when they did, but they mostly made stuff like this. They made mostly farm equipment, and bulldozers, tractors, and stuff like that, which is cool and all. But at the time, people were wanting to get the stuff to make. Little itty bitty kids wanted to make a little toy car go fast, and Matchbox didn't exactly have that. Neither did Corgi. Corgi was also another brand back in the day that really was very similar to Matchbox, except they made more cars than they did, farm equipment. All right, now enough about that. Let's move on to the Matchbox, and we're gonna compare them with the Hot Wheel here. Now, keep in mind, these are not exactly the exact same car, but it's as close as I'm gonna get it, because they're basically the exact same. So, right off the bat, the first thing that I notice on how I can tell that this is a Matchbox rather than this Hot Wheel right here is it's also slightly heavier, and also these have got mirrors on it where a Hot Wheel doesn't. Sometimes, more often than not, Hot Wheels mainlines will not include mirrors, which is very interesting. Because honestly, I'd rather have more detail. That I'm a more detail guy than I am speed. Now, I have to say, I do find myself setting up the track every now and again. Yeah, I mean, if we are into the car community, we still love to watch these little cars go lickety split. But another thing about it, these Matchbox cars, is right here. It's very hard to see on camera, but they have these little notches in the wheels, which whenever it's going, I'll let you listen to the Hot Wheel. This is the Hot Wheel. See, you don't hear a... Now we're gonna roll Matchbox. Now you have to get it going fast, but it makes a and where the Hot Wheel is much more quieter, but it's because of those notches right there in a Matchbox. Matchboxes are not Matchbox cars are not made to go on track, but they can, but I would not recommend it because these are more collectible cars that you can, they look cool and they look cool on the shelves. Where Hot Wheels are good for both of that. They are super duper lightweight. They're super duper fast, but they also look really great on the shelf and under those LED lights. But then again, what would you, at the end of the day, what would you like? A car that only looks great on the shelf, or a car that can also go fast, that goes fast, and also looks great on the shelf? What would you prefer? Obviously, we also go for Hot Wheels because they're slightly more popular than Matchbox cars. I don't know why, because Matchbox cars have slightly more details than what Hot Wheels does, but they're made by the same company, Mattel. So I don't really know why there's a little bit more of a, not a drastic difference, but there is a difference, which I don't know why. Maybe it's because people still want that classic feel of a Matchbox rolled in with the feel of a Hot Wheel. So it feels like a real model, but it still has the similar designs that a Hot Wheel would have. But basically, also some more premium cars, for example, the moving parts Matchbox cars. Now, obviously, this is a Super Chase. This isn't super duper accurate, but as you can see on this Super Chase, even if this was not a Super Chase, this back hatch, even if it was a regular, would still open. Now, granted, they don't make regulars of the. They just don't do that because it would be way too complicated with already the Super Treasure Hunts being out there for Hot Wheels. But anyways, moving on from that. That back hatch, and they also have moving doors, opening hoods on other different models, and these aren't all that expensive. I think you can maybe pick one of these up for maybe $2 or $3 at Walmart. So not that bad price. Where you go out and pay $8 for a premium car like this with a metal body, a full metal body, rubber tires, but no moving parts. No moving parts. That's the only downside to Hot Wheels, is they rarely, very, very rarely, and I bet you right now, yeah, look at this. This is like a $15 or $20 car right here. Doesn't have moving parts. It does not have moving parts. I've looked at other models. These do not have moving parts at all. Even though they're super duper expensive, they're very hard to come by in the stores. They didn't think to put moving parts on that, which I get. That's an extra step in the process, but still, it is nice to have. If you're gonna have it on the shelf, it would be nice to have, like for example, this 57 Chevy right here. It's got an opening hood. It's also got doors, which in my opinion, that's what makes that model so special to me. Not only it's got sentimental value, but it also has moving parts, which makes it look ever so much nicer on the shelf, rather than a Hot Wheel just sitting on the shelf and it's just sitting there and it looks the same. It doesn't have any of the doors opened up, which neither does a mainline Matchbox have. But if you just pay the extra couple of dollars to get that moving part, that also looks a lot better on the shelf than just a regular Matchbox. Now, granted, some Hot Wheels do have moving parts, but it's very, very rare that you find one. I mean, let me find it real quick. I have, right here. Back in the day, this, you can see that hood on this 1969 Charger, it opens up. and it's a Hot Wheel, but they don't make those anymore. So that's why it's super duper important to keep these cars in the package, because of that moving part. That makes it super duper rare. And even back then, they didn't. That was not regular for all the cars to have moving parts. It was super duper rare. Even back then, to find a Hot Wheel that has moving parts, it's very very rare. If I'm wrong, guys, call me out, because I want to. I'm not here to. I'm not here to tell you what to and what not to collect. I'm just throwing out their suggestions. I'm throwing out some recommendations on why you, just throwing it out there, the options, throwing out the options. Heck, in my last video, I was talking about Erdls. The things that you can buy, the pros and cons of having an Erdl collection, and now I'm talking about the pros and cons of having a Matchbox collection. It's all on personal preference, but like I said previously, I'm not here to tell you what to collect. I'm only here to give recommendations. So basically, I'm more of a Hot Wheels collector myself, because not only do they look cool, but they also, I do like to have a couple Matchboxes laying around. I'm not gonna lie, I have a couple of moving parts with their hoods open over on my shelf, because I like the mixture of no moving parts with right next to it a moving parts car. Now people are going to look obviously at the moving parts car more they are the non-moving parts, but I put those cars up there because I like them. I like having those cars up there. And my Volkswagen collection, I think it was like my third YouTube short. I don't think any of those cars over there have moving parts. But the reason I have them on display is I'm a huge Volkswagen fan. I just love the looks of the Volkswagens. That's why I have so many other cars on display. Not because if they have a moving part that I just don't have open. They don't have moving parts. But it's just because I like the looks, and I'm huge fans of those cars. And also, another thing that's really good, so not only just have Hot Wheels. I mean, yeah, having a lot of Hot Wheels is amazing. But having a mixture of cars in there, like, oh, look, there's a Hot Wheel. Oh, wait, that's a Erdl. Or, oh, wait, right next to it, that's a Matchbox. It's nice to have a mixture of cars, so you're not just focused on just one brand of car. It's nice to have a little bit of a variety in there of cars. And also, you shouldn't just collect the cars. You should also collect the trucks. You should also collect the dioramas. You should also collect the t-shirts. You should also collect the underwear, the socks, the pants. Heck, I've got a t-shirt up in my room that says Hot Wheels, and it's got the treasure hunt symbol on it. Yeah, I mean, you name it, I've got it. And you got to think of this kind of as an investment. Now, some cars that are out of the package are not going to be worth as much. But say if you had this car right here for example, right here, this car is going to be worth a lot more than this loose car right here. Why? Because it's in the package. But that's a whole other video of supply and demand, and why some cars should be put in the package and why some cars are good to be okay loose. Because that's, again, it's great to have a mixture. Like, oh, that's a car that's original in the package. Like, for example, I have this right here. I think this is the Mongoose. Yeah, this is the Mongoose. This is a car that I want to have in the package because it is, these are hard to come by. I had to go to a convention to get this. I couldn't go to Walmart and find a Mongoose. I couldn't go there and find this car in this packaging. And this car, I think, was like $15 or maybe it was like $15 for one of these cars. And I've got both of them. So do the math. That's $30 right here. Maybe even more than that now, because I've had these for a little bit. It's just supply and demand. Cars are worth more in the package, but there are some cars that are okay to have out of the package. Take, for example, the pink rear-loader beach bomb owned by Bruce Pascal. Is that car in the package? No, it's loose, but that was also a prototype. That's a little bit different. But then again, that car is loose. So some cars can be loose, but take, for example, the 271 funny car. That car is, I mean, I have one over there in a set. I have it in a drag race set, but in a singular package, like this, for example. Well, not obviously the short card, because I didn't have a lot of those back then, but in a long card, just a regular card, find that out in the wild, you have to pay. Some of those digits can even go up into the 5-digit numbers. 5-digit numbers. Let that sink in there. So you could possibly go out there and see if you can find a 271 funny car. Go out there. Go on eBay. Search it up. 270 collector number. 271 funny car. If you look, and I bet you're not going to find a ton of them. Why? It's very, very simple. Well, it would be even rarer to find them in singular packs. Now you're going to find them loose, and you're also going to find them in sets. But to find them in a singular set is so much more rare, because that packaging has the value, not the car. In the words of Mike Zernock, it's the packaging has the value, not the car. That's a quote from Mike Zernock, who is, if you haven't checked out his channel, Hot Wheels TV, I highly suggest you go out there and check out that channel. But anyways, it's not the car always that has the value. Now, granted, there are some cars out there that can go into the 4-digit numbers and 5-digit and 6 digits and so on. But more than likely, probably about 65% of the time, the packaging is going to be worth more than the car. More than likely, because that's the original packaging that came with that car. So basically, that's my insight. And it also is a lot more public. Like, say for example, I've got these two Ferraris up here. The newest Ferrari that came out. Now, obviously, this isn't the newest one, but the one that was released this year. This is, this doesn't go for cheap money, but it also isn't high expensive. But this Ferrari, that is super duper old, it is worth more than that one that was made in 2025. Why? Because it's older, and they're still in the package. Which is why Ferraris, in my opinion, stay in the package. No matter what they are, Ferraris stay in the package. Because one day they're going to gain value. Because there was just that 10-year span that Ferraris were not made. But as soon as Ferraris rolled back, the value is going to start to drop just a little bit. Not saying that the Ferraris are not going to be worth anything. They are. And I look at it as an investment that I can enjoy. Alright? That's enough for today. And I will make a part 2 on this, on why you should keep your Hot Wheels in the package. And also what the difference is between a Hot Wheels and a Matchbox. And why, some cars are good in the package. Some, this conversation can roll on for hours and hours. But I'm running out of time. So, anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like this content, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and share it with a friend. And comment what I should do in my next video, after I do another conversation with why you should keep your cars in the package. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all down the road. Diecast Garage, out!